Have you ever wanted to go on a heartfelt journey in the lives of your loved ones and newfound acquaintances? Do you enjoy listening and engaging in uplifting discussions that leave you motivated and inspired to take action in your own life? This podcast is a space where we have in-depth conversations on family, health, spirituality, entrepreneurship, and well, just plain old life. I'm Jesse De Leon, and this is my passion. Join me on a walk into the fascinating narratives and meaningful conversations that shape our experiences. Welcome to The Knowing, a Life and Stories podcast. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to The Knowing, a Life and Stories with me, Jesse De Leon, as your host. I'm so happy to be here with you and thank you for tuning in. Why is faith so hard? Why is it so challenging? Do you ask yourself that question? I know I do. I ask myself that question every day. I would consider myself a pretty faithful person, someone who's, makes it to church on Sundays and every Sunday now for the past couple of years. And I still question faith. What is faith? Faith is a grace. I used to ask my priest, Father Garrett, my friends who are super devout, what does it mean to have faith? It's faith. It's challenging. Why is it challenging? Because you can't see it. You can't see it if you're not looking for it, right? Think about that. It's intangible. Or is it? Can we see it? Or is it not there, right? It's not like you can see me if you're watching on YouTube right now, or I can see what I'm seeing right now, or what's visible to the eye, right? It's certainly an interesting question to ponder. And the response to my question, when I would ask, what is faith? Well, then I would hear it's a grace. Well, what's a grace? A grace is a gift. And that is what the Lord does. He gives us that as a gift. But what happens when someone gives you a gift? Imagine if someone handed you a gift and you didn't know what it was. You couldn't see it. It's more than likely it's in a gift bag or a wrapped package. You can't see it, right? And what happens if you were to refuse that gift, not take it? What does that mean? You're not receiving a gift that you cannot see, don't have any idea what it is, but someone who loves you is giving it to you. Someone who cares about you is giving you a gift. And imagine what that would seem like, what that would mean if you didn't receive the gift. Well, that is what faith is. So I just wanted to kind of, share that with you and let that be the topic of today and how it relates to our everyday life, right? Another question that people ask me and people ask priests, at least all the priests that I know, get asked this question. If God is so powerful, ... You can fill in the blank, right? If God is so powerful, why do bad things happen to good people? Why do children get diseases? Why do children die? Right? Why does our pet have to die so young? These are questions that are really serious, and we are left to wonder, if God was so powerful, then why do bad things happen? Why does he permit these things to happen? And the short answer to that and how it relates to faith and religion is that God's permitting will is what is at play there. And what is God's permitting will? God's permitting will is, imagine, okay, you're a parent and, you want the best for your children and you want to guide them, direct them. You want them to have experience joy and peace and life, right? And in that process of being a parent, there are rules, there are restrictions in place, particularly when they're young. And then Imagine the challenge and the fear of when they grow up and they go off to college or they go off to vocation, right? And now they no longer have you there to protect them, to guide them on the everyday to day events that happen in their life. So you want to trust that they are going to, based on what you taught them, they're going to fall back on that, right? On that the tools that you armed them with, right? To be on their own. And you can't be there with them, but you can sure hope that they will remember what you taught them and how you guided them. And imagine if you tried to control them and you locked them in the tower, right? What did Rapunzel do when she was locked in the tower? She had a suitor, a pretty good looking prince down below, right? Calling up to her, whining, sad. He wanted to just be with her, right? What does she do? She throws her hair down. I mean, I know that's silly analogy, right? It's a storybook. It's a story tell. But where does that story tell come from? It's based on the struggles of people that have come before us who had to, deal with some things that maybe hurt them, disappointed them, upset them as parents, right? As protectors, as mentors, and as guides. And that's how I see God. I see him, he allowing us with his permitting will to choose what we deem right, what we deem fair, what we deem unfair, and how we make our decisions in our daily life. So if he controlled us, he wouldn't be a very loving God, right? If he just prevented us, struck lightning before us before we're about to do something terrible or bad, how would that be loving, right? So he permits us to make mistakes in our struggles. He permits us to fall short in our desires, whatever those desires are. And we choose. That's what love is. It's not control. It is the ability to let go and hope, right? Even God hopes. And that's why there's hope for us, because God hopes that we will choose and make the right decision, right? That we will choose faith over not understanding of what's happening in life. And oftentimes we don't understand, and we don't, we can't accept the things that happen in daily life that are uncomfortable and that we don't like. But that's the beauty of love. I was talking to my sister this morning, and her daughter's in college and she's got a boyfriend. And she said that he was so sad and he was mopey when she was about to leave, because he comes over to their home to see her off. And he was trying to hold on to her and keep her there a little longer, a little more talking, a little more holding hands. And she said, Jess, our daughter has grown up. My daughter's grown up and she's so mature. And she just said, okay, gotta go. It's time. I've got to get on the road. Otherwise, it's going to get dark before I get back to school and I have a long drive. And that is the hope that a parent has. That, like my sister said, Jesse, it was hard. I was lonely. I was sad when she went away her first semester. She struggled her first semester. Her boyfriend struggled. Her father struggled. And we all struggled because we love her and we want the best for her. And we were sad. And so faith is what keeps us going. Faith is what keeps me going. It gives me hope that things are going to be okay. Things are going to be fine. They're going to work out in the way they're meant to work out if we have hope, right? Imagine not having hope, not having faith. And if you think about it, would we have struggled a hard time believing if a miracle happened right in front of us? If God came right here, right down, right in front of us, like he did with the disciples, right? And performed these miracles. And at every turn, they questioned it. They saw it in front of their eyes and they still didn't believe it. So why is it? I mean, of course, it's so easy not to believe because we're human, right? Peter denied God. James ran with fear, and yet they saw these miracles and these amazing, miraculous things happen right before them, and even they crumbled. Well, I want you to know that it's okay. We're gonna We're going to, in our humanity, we're going to crumble and we're going to not believe and we're going to struggle. But I hope this helps you. I want you to think about the times that people that came before us and people of faith, how they struggled, even when they were in the presence of this mightiness, right? So give yourself a little grace, give yourself that gift of take a breath and just be grateful for the things that we have right now, right in front of us, right? The things that we're grateful for. I know that it's very important. It's crucial to remember that, to focus on that, to journal those triumphs and even journal the struggle, because that's how we learn. That's how we grow. And that's how we can come back to it and are able to move forward. You know, a lot of times we don't want to believe, and it's hard to have faith because we believe that we're going to have to give up the fun. If we believe that God exists, if we believe that Jesus existed and exists still, and the Holy Spirit exists, if we believe that, then we're going to have to give up everything that's fun, everything that we're told that it's bad if we do it, right? Well, no, that's not right. It's incorrect. And I'm going to tell you that it's incorrect because I love my faith and I fall short every single day. But the beauty of faith is that I can rise up again and try all over again and forgive myself. And, we give up a lot more, guys. Believe it or not, we give up a lot more by not believing than by believing. Why? Because in believing, we have hope that we can rise above it, that we can start over again tomorrow. In not believing, there are no tools by which to use or methods by which to follow to help us get back on track again. And the more that we begin to believe and have faith, the more that we are able to forgive ourselves, right? Because Jesus came to forgive us, right? And he wanted us to forgive ourselves. And there's a big heaviness when we don't forgive ourselves for the things that we did that we feel we did wrong, or how we wronged ourselves and how we wronged other people. That is the beauty of faith and belief and grace, is the ability to forgive ourselves. And then what happens when we forgive ourselves? I mean, Jesus can forgive us. How come we can't forgive ourselves? Why do we struggle so hard to forgive ourselves? And how come we can't forgive other people that are human? They're going to hurt us. We're going to hurt them. We're going to fall short. And what happens when we don't forgive ourselves? Then a whole load of heaviness, of shame comes down on us, right? And oh boy, doesn't that feel good? I mean, wow, just that a little shame goes a long way in keeping us down and keeping us from fulfilling our true purpose. And our true purpose, guys, is to love one another and love ourselves the way that God loved us and loves us still. I believe because there are a lot of beautiful things that have happened in my life that have helped me to grow past the guilt, grow past the shame, and wake up the next day and I'm able to start all over again. Because imagine if we allowed ourselves to continue to live that way with that heaviness, there's no way we're going to be able to do our best, to be our best, to be who we're created to be. So yes, we can be shame-free every time we forgive ourselves. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that amazing? Because I'm telling you, I say this all the time, I'm a big sinner. Some people get mad at me because I say that, but I'm a big sinner. Why is it that I can get up and do this show or get up and go to work? I'm not saying it's not easy. Sometimes it's a struggle to do the show. Sometimes it's a struggle to go to work. Sometimes I just want to stay under the blanket and cover my head and not face the world. But that's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to get up and face it because we can be shame-free. Shame is not good. It's bad. That is bad for us. Let it go. It can't own you. Don't let it. And this is why it's important to have friends, to have family, to have people that care about you, to have mentors, so that, we can not be in the struggle by ourselves. As I mentioned, I've fallen short many times on my fitness goals. I mean, guys, remember when I told y'all when I did the episode about, the new year and the goals and how I started them in October of last year and all so like already. Well, guys, almost every goal I've set for myself, I've fallen short. I have eaten bad foods. I have eaten processed foods. I have not been to the gym like I said I was going to be every day, or at least, the attempt of going to go to the gym, to work out. Do you think that I've done that every day this year? No, but I've forgiven myself. I'm not going to carry that shame, that heaviness with me. And I don't want you to carry it either. I've fallen short on my goals. If you could only have known and felt the struggle that I put my producer and friend Jeffrey through when I wasn't responding to his text messages, I wasn't responding to his phone calls. I was in a slump, guys. Yes, I was in a slump. And as optimistic and as happy and joyful as I can seem, I am not that almost a lot of the times in my day. But because Jeff believes in me, he cares about me, he cares about the show, and Darren cares about the show, they were patient with me and they hung in there. They stuck it out with me. And I'm sharing this with you because I know I'll come across like I am all put together and I'm on top of it every day and I'm checking off the goal list every day. No, I'm not. I run late on filing my taxes. I don't get back in touch with the people I need to get back in touch with as quickly as I ought. I like I said, I've not gone to the gym. Maybe, I've eaten bad foods, but the beautiful thing is I can start all over again tomorrow. And that's the whole point of this talk today is cut yourself some slack, give yourself a break, give yourself some grace. Let it go. Don't let it own you. Okay? Put on an Eminem song and let him remind you of the struggle, but how powerful it is to rise above the struggle and to be a David, run toward the fear, run toward the struggle. And look, doesn't it sound so good right now that this talk that I'm giving, this powerful motivational talk, and yet in maybe 30 minutes from now, I will not be a David. I will run from the struggle. I will not run toward the roar. But with you guys giving me your prayers and listening to the show and supporting the show, I have the hope, the chance to run toward the struggle. That's the gift that you give me. That's the grace that you give me. I don't see you. I can't see you praying for me. I don't see your faces, but I'm believing that you're doing that. So guess what? In my faith, in my belief, even though I can't see you, you're still doing that for me. So I'm going to receive that gift, that grace. And that's what God does for us. That's the point I want to drive home, that God's always there. He's our cheerleader. He's our father. He's our inspiration. He's the reason that we're here, right? Let us support one another. Let us get back on track. Let us help each other get back on track. Let your friends, your family, your coworkers, strangers get you back on track. I had drinks with my friend Wendy, who is such an inspiration. And she always talks about how I inspire her and what a joy it is to be with me and how she would love to be with me more often. You know what? When she says that, that's her grace to me, her gift to me, right? It's not something that's tangible. It's not something you see, but it's there, right? She said those words to me. And then I'm walking her to her car and I put her hand around my arm and then I called her and made sure she got home safely. And she goes, Jesse, I just want to tell you, when you put my hand around your arm and I felt that muscle of yours, she said, those guns, I was inspired to get back to the gym on Monday morning. I have fallen short, but you helped me and inspired me to want to start over this week. It wasn't what she did feel, the gun that inspired her, that motivated her. Sometimes we do see it. We just have to believe it when we see it. So Believe it when you see it, guys. I love you. I hope that this has inspired you. Stay inspired. Be forgiving of yourself. Definitely, unequivocally release the shame. It's over. It's in the past. Try better. Try again tomorrow, right? That's what I have for you. I love you. Please continue to pray for me, and I'm going to continue to pray for y'all. Until next time, have a great, great, great week.